Welcome back to the Poetry of JP, where we are exploring the thoughts, emotions, and inspirations behind my poems, sharing the simple joys and profound reflections that poetry can bring. I'm your host, JP, and today we'll be diving into one of my own books, Heaven in the Grass. This poem touches on themes of simplicity, presence, and the universal human yearning for something more, something transcendent. But first, let me share the poem with you. The title of this poem matches this episode, Heaven in the Grass. To see the world within your hand and an Eden within your heart, bend and stoop and set out on the grass. This, the earthly grass, is nearly heaven. You needn't dream of perfect worlds or consume the most intoxicating of fruits. There is spirit enough in a handful of sand to stir the lotus-eaters from their trance, exploring the themes of simplicity and presence. The poem, Heaven in the Grass, is an invitation to slow down, to find beauty and peace in the simple act of being present with the world around us. In a society that often urges us to chase after big dreams, to seek utopias, or to indulge in the most intoxicating experiences, this poem offers a counterpoint. It suggests that the sacred, the divine, can be found in the most ordinary of things. The grass beneath our feet becomes a symbol of this simplicity. It's a reminder that you don't need to escape to some far-off paradise or consume the most exotic fruits to find fulfillment. There is a kind of heaven here in the everyday moments, if only we take the time to notice it. The lotus-eaters and the call to utopian dreams. The final line of the poem references the myth of the lotus-eaters, a story from Homer's Odyssey. In the myth, the lotus-eaters are people who consume the lotus plant, which causes them to forget everything else and become lost in a state of dreamy contentment. It's a powerful metaphor for the human tendency to get lost in utopian dreams or in the pursuit of pleasure, to the point where we lose touch with reality. But in Heaven in the Grass, this myth is turned on its head. The poem suggests that there is enough spirit in something as simple as a handful of sand to awake even the lotus-eaters from their trance. In other words, the simplicity of the earth, the sand, the grass, holds a power that is more potent and more real than the intoxicating dreams we might chase after. This ties into a broader theme in the poem, the idea that true contentment, true connection with the divine, doesn't come from escaping reality, but from embracing it. It's about finding Eden within your heart, not in some distant land. The human urge for utopia. There's a deep-seated urge within us to dream perfect worlds, to imagine places where all our desires are fulfilled and all our struggles cease. This utopian dreaming is a natural part of being human. However, as the poem suggests, this longing can sometimes distract us from the beauty and peace that are available to us in the here and now. Heaven in the Grass challenges this impulse by reminding us that what we seek might already be within our grasp. The perfect world, the Eden, isn't necessarily somewhere else. It can be found in our hearts, in our connection to the earth, and in our ability to find joy in the simplest of things. This perspective doesn't dismiss the value of dreams or aspirations, but it does encourage us to balance them with an appreciation for the present moment. It's about recognizing that the ordinary can be extraordinary, and that heaven can be found right here in the grass beneath our feet. The role of poetry in grounding us. Poetry has a unique ability to ground us in the present moment by focusing our attention on the specific, the tangible, and the immediate, Poems like Heaven in the Grass help us reconnect with the world around us. They invite us to slow down, to look closely, and to find meaning in the everyday. As we continue our exploration of poems in this series, we'll see how other poets use similar themes to remind us of the power and beauty of simplicity. We'll also explore how the structures and rhythms of a poem can enhance this sense of presence and connection. Thank you for joining me on this episode of the Poetry of JP. I hope Heaven in the Grass has inspired you to find your own slice of heaven in the everyday moments of life. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe so you don't miss any future explorations into the world of poetry. And if you know someone who might appreciate this journey, share this podcast with them. Until next time, keep reading, keep writing, and keep finding the extraordinary in the ordinary.